What made me a millionaire was by making content on YouTube and LinkedIn. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy, and I own a $20 million agency. And the first thing I did, the day I decided I was going to make an agency, I shot a video. And it was about how to make an Amazon brand store on YouTube for Amazon. And that video, to this day, a couple 100,000 hits, has helped generate me lots of customers. In that video, I actually gave out my cell phone number. During that time frame, I was super open. I've had to go back and edit and clip that out. Got a little too busy, and it's crazy. So in this video, I'm gonna show you some of my own analytics inside of YouTube. So in the last 30 days, I've generated 113,000 views, just under 7,000 hours of watch time, picking up 829 subscribers. Now I'm gonna flip this over to last 365 days, 1.5 million views, 94,000 hours of watch time. And you can see right here, it's pretty consistent. Some of the clips right here do spike a little bit better here and there. Same thing with the watch time. It's pretty consistent. 12,000 subscribers, just under 1,000 subscribers on the year. I don't really monetize my content. That is an intentional decision. So if you think that number's low, that is intentional. I basically only monetize like 5 or 6 videos on my channel, and they're not related to Amazon. So like I had a video about dry fasting. It's becoming one of my most popular videos. It's kind of crazy, but I monetize that one because that's not going to put other Amazon agencies advertising their stuff on my channel, which is what I was trying to avoid and why I don't monetize. All right, so let's flip this over to lifetime now. And you can see 5.4 million views, 341,000 hours of watch time. And the first video I put out was April of 2018. You can see that right there. And I think I started agency started like April 2nd. By April 5th, I'd loaded my first video. So it was like one of the first things I did when I made the agency. Made a LinkedIn post, had my first customer within 48 hours by a referral. They're still a client today, by the way. They sell supplements. We've done a lot of deals with supplements. I do not think as an agency you need to specialize in any particular product niche, nor do I suggest you focus on just like a geo of like where the products are made. I think it's better to focus on being a niche in a platform. So I chose to be a niche in the Amazon platform. All right, so one of the questions I typically ask people is, would you rather hire a really expensive sales team, or would you rather have a sales team that you don't pay for and it goes out there and it perpetuates itself, right? So let's say Stephen Pope died today. Guess how many of these views would occur in the next year? Right? So again, 1.5 million views. If I stopped making content today, I would still get right around 1.5 million views every year in perpetuity. Content would get outdated, 100%. But the fact of the matter is, that is a lot of content being consumed where I don't have to do anything further. Now, I am going to make content every day. That's not the point. The point is that this is self-perpetuating, right? And if we go back to the annual button here again, you'll notice, where does it start to spike? And if we put our cursor on there, March of 2020, I wonder what happened during that time frame. And some of you might be thinking, oh, Stephen, you just got really lucky, you rode the wave. And to some credit, you might be a little correct. However, I actually lost 30% of my customers in March of 2020. What's crazy, though, is that 60 days later, I grew 50%. So I lost 30% in March of 2020 when the big thing hit. And then 60 days later, I gained 50% more clients. So it was a huge roller coaster. It was very complicated. I did not enjoy that time in my life, to be honest. I don't think anybody really did enjoy that time frame, except the super introverts. But the notation here, the annotation here, is that I became an overnight success, but it took 2 years, right? If I hadn't have been ready for the big e-commerce Amazon push of 2020, I wouldn't have had this success, right? I went from 300, 200 views a video, and then all of a sudden getting 5,000 views and 4,000 views and whatever. Huge spike right there, right? And the last couple of years have been pretty static, actually, right? If you go through here, pretty static. Not a lot of growth in terms of new to file or length. So I guess I'm waiting for the next lucky wave or next overnight success or something, I guess. In any case, there's a telling thing here, right? Consistency in content creation is very difficult because I've hit all the topics that I want to hit, and then I have to hit them again, and then hit them again, right? Like PPC and SEO, got to hit those every week because that's what people want to consume from the content. Now, the key, though, that I have found to help me make content, so if I was an agency trying to figure out, like where to focus my time and attention right now, this would be helpful to you. But if you're an Amazon brand owner, this is helpful too, because if you just fundamentally ask your customer, what do you want? And you give it to them, and then you then ask, did you get what you wanted? And then video that kind of dialogue and conversation, it becomes a successful system, right? Like if you ignored every business book, every business mentor coach, you never logged into social media, and you only did this one practice, customer, what do you want? Okay, cool. You want this? Let me give it to you. Did you get what you wanted? Yes. Sweet. And that's all you did. You'd have a successful business. And I cannot stress how easy this is, but it gets complicated because people simply stop asking. They stop asking their customer, what do you want? Well, what I decided early on is that whenever a customer asked me a question, I would shoot a video every single time. 5-minute video on this, 5-minute video on that. And it was highly successful because A, they loved the personal attention, and B, guess who asked me the next week that same question? Customer 2, customer 3. And even if the topic was super niche, I still shot the content because if it mattered to one customer, I could serve them. And in addition to that, it always was more than one customer. Like anytime somebody asked me a question, there was always somebody else who was thinking it, who may not ask it, but was thinking it. How do I lower my ACOS? How do I solve my title suppression? How do I do this on Amazon? Man, I hate working with seller support. It sucks. Yes, all of those things happen. They're super consistent. And I'll talk to new Amazon sellers all the time, and they're like, holy crap, it's hard to sell on Amazon. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's not passive income like the YouTube gurus that you keep watching say it is, right? Well, if you really structurally look at the success of this content and the view counts, this is super powerful, right? If we pull up this graphic about how to, generate content or generate leads, in the 4 leads of generation, this one is in quad 2 in the bottom left here in the content generation. So you are one to many. And this is what generated me the ability to get to $10 million in annual recurring revenue, or ARR. It wasn't until 2020, 22, 21, somewhere, I think it was 21, that I started, January 2021, I started cold outreach, right? And that's quad 3. And that's what got me to 20 million. And I'm currently trying to crack running paid ads to get up to 50 million. That is the lowest ROI, very tricky, hard to scale, no idea if it's working, when it's working, or if it isn't working. Lots of questions can come up from that. The tracking on it's complicated. You're spending a lot of money on pay-per-click ads. Not very different from Amazon sponsored products, where on Amazon sponsored products, it's one of the best ROIs, acquisition of new customers, helps you rank with SEO, etc. With Google, it does not help you rank with SEO. Very hard to track. And somebody might see an ad and then book a call later, but they never clicked on the ad. So it's like, man, really hard to know what's working and all that. So very difficult to crack that. So if you're trying to sit down and figure out, like, okay, you're a new agency, maybe you're a consultant trying to make a boutique, one-to-one, people cheapest, takes a lot of time, your leverage goes up as you continue down the quads, gets easier and easier. But the content machine was fundamental to my success, and I started it day one. And I'm very happy that I did that. Keeping it going is difficult. There are, if we go on YouTube right now, I'll even open incognito just so you guys can see like how I rank some of my videos. But if we type in some generic keywords like Amazon SEO, I'm going to come up number 2 right under Neil Patel. My video is better than his, by the way. He doesn't know anything about Amazon SEO. And usually I come up number 1 when I do this, right? That one's an ad. So organic slot number 2, I did incognito there. You guys can Google that too, or go on YouTube and see. And this video has like literally everything I know about Amazon SEO, chock full video. One of the best videos I've ever put out. And so I have to continue to make other videos about SEO. So I've got, I'm showing up on page 1. Here's another 2 of my videos. And if we scroll down, we'll probably continue to find a couple more of mine. Maybe, maybe not. There's another one right there, indexing versus ranking. But the point is I had to make lots and lots of videos. There's another one about every single topic, right? There's 2 more. Now, if we type in Amazon PPC, I am losing ground on this one. Mina is picking up some steam here, seeing him quite a bit. I'm actually close friends with Mina, really like him, and gave him some tips on making content. And then he's turned it around, and now you're seeing his face plastered all over Amazon PPC. I'm not even showing up on page 1 right here, even though I've got a pretty awesome masterclass. Finally there, me showing up with day parting. But the reason these guys are outranking me is because they keep putting out PPC video after PPC video. Like, look at the time frames. 1 month ago, if we keep going 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, just left and right all over the place. And even on other people's content, like here's Mina on Helium, here's Mina on Orange Click. He's showing up left and right as well. So a lot of things you have to do if you want to be consistent, showing up on these topics over and over again. Now, it won't matter what content you make if your customers don't want it, though, right? So if you think about it from that perspective, if you shoot the best video ever, but your customers don't care about it, then it's pointless, right? So it's much easier to simply just ask customers, what do you want? And then give it to them versus trying to come up with your own product and forcing it upon the market. Now, there are examples of this happening successfully in history, to be clear. Sliced bread might be a case example. It took a decade for sliced bread to catch on, which sounds crazy when you say it out loud, but if you go look it up, it took a long time for sliced bread to catch on. So it is possible to do a demand generation product, right? But co-opting demand is significantly easier. So with content generation strategies, yes, you can go invest in some clickbait titles and thumbnails, but I really just authentically like the concept of just asking customers what they want, give it to them, shoot content around that same question. Now, if we go over to Google and type in something like hidden suppressions, this is a term that I created. And you'll see, and I just typed this into Google, I'm in incognito still, and I'm showing up 1, 2, 3, 4, all of those things on Google. So this is a term that I coined, and if you coin a term, you're going to dominate it, obviously, but how many people are searching for this? I don't know, probably not very many. Maybe there's a tool I could check real quick to see the search volume on Google, but it's irrelevant. The point is that sometimes you're going to create the demand for the content, but in reality, if we type in other things like best Amazon agency or something like this, we're going to get a lot different, content. Luckily, I'm coming up when I type in best Amazon agency. That was not planned. There's 2 there, which is cool. But if we type in, other terms that our customers might use, like how to lower ACoS on Amazon, I'm hopeful that some of my content will come up. There's one of mine. I'm in slot 2. There's Adam Heist, and we got Ad Badger, and we've got other people showing up. So, and then there's me with 2 videos at the top of page 2. right? So, and then there's another one for me. So I'm showing up though consistently, right? I'm incognito. I don't use my own brand term, but I did teach my subscribers that anytime they had a problem on Amazon to simply Google their problem with my brand name, my Amazon guy at the end of it, right? So if I type in brand registry, Amazon, this is unbranded, not seeing my content. But if we type in my Amazon guy and we put that in there, I have video after video about how every problem I've ever had with brand registry, right? Just tons and tons of challenges with Amazon brand registry. So I have 50 videos probably related to this topic. So I'm not winning the non-branded terms, but if I teach my subscribers to type this in enough times, brand registry, suspended, right? And then throw on my brand name at the end of it, one can hope that over time I'll be able to rank the non-brand when it's typed in. And it looks like on that particular term, brand registry suspended, I'm dominating. I got 3 of the top 4 right here. Whoa, even more. That's good. It's like 7 of the top 10. So certain terms dominating on, other ones not so much. Amazon listing yank. Let's see how I'm doing on that one. Boom, top 2. That's good. There's another one. So looks like 5, 6, 7 videos of the top 10. Right now, that's on the video tab. If we go to the all tab, one can hope that I'll show up, and I do. So I'm on the all tab. 1, 2, boom, 3, and then there's my listing service for Yanks. That's the first organic listing service right there. More of my videos and content, right? So that's good. So the point of me showing all of this is, if you invest in this content, I'm not paying for any of this. I spent my own time making it. Yes, I have a designer who makes me thumbnails, and I do have a social team that sets up with some timestamps and whatnot. But this cost is minimal compared to going and hiring 6-figure sales guys. And if you imagine the salary, right? If we took out a calculator and let's do the math on this. All right, so we got a calculator. How many working hours are in a year, right? So there's 2,080 working hours in a year, right? Now, if we said, okay, 100,000 salary, right, and divide that by 2,080 hours, that's $48 an hour approximately, right? So here's a quick hack. Anytime you're ever trying to figure out what your hourly rate is to your salary or vice versa, it's almost a 2-to-1 ratio. 48, divided in there gives you kind of an idea. So with that in mind, if you were then to take that number and times it by 350,000 hours, I would have had to pay $16 million, $826,000 on top of that, for the same amount of leverage, right? So if we were trying to associate a value to the content hours, and one could argue that some of the content I have is being seen by non-customers, and you'd be right. But the fact of the matter is that I'm, even if we just came up with a fraction number of this, let's say 30% of that, that's still, $5-6 million in saved sales salaries, health benefits, and commissions and everything else. The YouTube channel is doing that work for me all the time, at any time. And I just demonstrated how you can go to Google and find my content. You can go on YouTube and find my content. Now, I really wish the LinkedIn posts I made would rank as well on Google and other locations. They don't. Articles might be a way to get around that. But the fact of the matter is, content scales. That's why you always hear the term content is king. Now, I have a huge background in search engine optimization. I've run the same playbook for multiple companies, even before I started my own company. Right? I was at appmex.com. If you go to SEMrush or any sort of SEO tool and look up AppMex, American Precious Metals Exchange, you can see my hire date. I increased their SEO organic traffic by 10 million unique visitors, not visits, but unique visitors, 10 million of them within 1 year. And I did that by making 2,000 pieces of content in under a year. Now, at My Amazon Guy, I'm not actually putting out that much content. I need to speed up and do more of that, and maybe I'll get my 10 million unique visitors in. But the niche that we're in for Amazon selling, significantly smaller than the precious metals industry for some perspective. At the end of the day, content creates leverage, and leverage allows scale, right? And if you're trying to seek wealth, and if you're trying to build an agency or a business, you need to be investing in content. Now with AI, some of these content things get easier. Other times it gets harder because now you're competing against all the bogus AI content, and all the AI content sounds the same. But the nice thing about videos is they don't, as of yet, in 2024, they don't have AI videos producing this level of content that you've just watched here, right? Authentic, here's what I did to build my business sort of content. So that's the good news. All right, I have a bunch of videos about how I've built my agency. You can also get a free case study about how I've done everything. I'm actually selling my SOPs for how to run an Amazon agency over at My Agency Guy. You can go to myguy.agency/case though to get a full breakdown on how I built my agency with more in-depth content. I also shot an hour-long video where I break down this case study. You may want to watch that next. Click here.